Hello, hello. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? See some of my friends in the house. Hey, guys. We're early tonight. Thank you for bearing with me. I think on the last live stream I had said I was going to try for Thursday, but it just worked out better to do it earlier on Friday. So thank you. My work is having their holiday party tonight. So at the time I would normally be doing this. So I had to do it earlier. So thank you guys for the flexibility. Appreciate those of you who are here hanging out with us. And for those who are not, well, of course, this will be on replay for the rest of eternity, I guess. I don't know how long these videos are going to be on YouTube. I assume forever. But I mean, who really knows? Who really knows? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. I see that Pico B1 is in the house. How are you doing, Pico B1? Good to see you. Adam, happy Friday to you. Thanks for hanging out. Paul, how are you doing, Paul? Thanks for hanging out. Glad you got Thrawn finally. He's a great figure. Dodgson's in the house. Dodgson, how are you doing? Cool. Jason, Cantinians, how's it going? How's it going, Jason? POV1, I agree. Christmas is my favorite time of year too. Not so much for the toys, but just because it is. Nice. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This for me it's afternoon. It's 4 o'clock here in SoCal, but I know for a lot of you it's later than that. For some of you, perhaps it's earlier than that. But either way, thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out this evening. Tonight I am sipping on a Pocari Sweat. I know it has like literally the worst name ever. But when I was in Japan a couple of months back, like I discovered this Pocari Sweat, and it says hydration drink. And I know it sounds weird. It's not really sweat. It's not really sweat. Trust me. The best way I could, I guess the closest thing I could compare it to is like Gatorade. It's kind of like Gatorade, but it looks like water, and it's not as sugary as Gatorade. It's pretty good. It doesn't taste like sweat. It's not salty at all. It says fast and reliable, restores you faster and keeps you hydrated longer than water. Balanced hydration with 5 essential electrolytes to replenish what you sweat. So I guess that's why it's called Pocari Sweat, because you sweat out sweat and you drink Pocari Sweat. I guess that's why it's called what it's called. Either way, it's pretty good. It tastes like a light, like Gatorade, without like the color, without all the sugar. There are things weirdly worded in Japan, though. Things that I don't think they really intend to label, but they end up tasting good, but they have weird names, that kind of thing. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Did everybody get to listen to the latest episode of the TVC podcast that went up on Monday? We have a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the latest with the HasLab. There is some breaking news for HasLab. Some really good news. So I'm excited to tell you guys about that. I think the HasLab has just a little bit longer to go. We'll look at that in just a bit. We're going to talk about last figure standing and see where that's at. Final round of round 2 voting is tonight. So we'll discuss that, and we'll discuss new acquisitions. And then we'll wrap. Not going to be a long show. If we go an hour, awesome. If we don't, that's okay too. I don't want to false advertise with Cantina Social Hour being an hour, and it's not an hour, but sometimes it's longer than an hour. But I see a few people joining us. I do want to say hi. Trevor, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Are you getting lots of feedback on your amazing Emily interview? Thank you, Adam. So yeah, let's I guess we can start with that. Yeah, so if you haven't listened to it yet, I did do the interview with Emily from Hasbro Star Wars. She is a senior product designer for Hasbro Star Wars. and she was gracious enough to come on to my show and talk about the vintage collection, talk about herself, talk about her background as a toy designer, as a toy collector, as a fan. So it was a really good conversation. I had a lot of fun talking to Emily, and just hugely grateful to her for taking time out of her busy schedule to hang out with me. Last Friday we recorded, and of course the episode went live on Monday. And this was episode 24 of the Vintage Collection podcast. We're in the middle of season 3. Previously I'd said season 3 might be the last season, but honestly I think I'm going to keep it going at this point because it's doing really well. And I'm glad people are enjoying the TVC podcast this season. So to your question, Adam. Yes, we actually have been receiving lots of positive feedback. Like pretty much everything I've seen, 99.9% of the comments, of the messages I've received, the reception has just been overwhelmingly positive. Like I'm blown away because a lot of the time, I've been on YouTube for going on 11 years, and a lot of the time you get a lot of not so good stuff, right? There's comments, that aren't very nice. There's people that will critique your appearance. There's people that will critique the way you speak. There are people who just be mean just to be mean, making it personal and stuff. So, the reception for this has been overwhelmingly positive, and that is really awesome to see. Really appreciative of that. And even if, you don't have the most, you don't like it, or the most positive thing to say, there's definitely ways to express that, and I think that's what it comes down to, is communication. So I really wanted to be to present the questions in ways that were respectful, in ways that were understanding that there's a lot of things I don't know. I know a lot of collectors and people and YouTubers. Some of us think we have all the answers, and we really don't. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I know I don't really need to tell you guys that, that there's so many factors and variables that we're not privy to that factor into so many of these decision-making processes that occur behind the scenes. So, I think it's important when you're communicating with anybody, that works on these product lines, to keep that in mind, and, just to be respectful, and to, be grateful for the things that are great for these hobbies that we have. I see a few more people popping in. Chaz the Guru, how you doing, Chaz? Good to see you. Mobile Recluse, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Good to see you as always. Trevor, thank you. Better late than never. Appreciate that you are here now. Hello, McFly. Good to see you. It is really cool that Hasbro does watch and monitor all this stuff. They monitor the last figure standing, the March Madness, all that stuff. So that is really cool. Person trying to do good work at a complex landscape, and that's really what it is. I mean, I think anybody, right? Like, I think about my own job, my day job, and things are challenging, and sometimes you just got to do the best with what you have, and we can't always make miracles happen, can't always do everything we want to do, but we try. So always important to keep that in mind. Emily is awesome. She's truly an asset to Hasbro. She is a gem, and lovely person, and just really grateful that we were able to hang out and talk and record this episode. So I'm, there are a few more episodes left this season. There's going to be we're on 24, so there's going to be 6 more episodes this season. As each season of the TVC podcast has 10 episodes. And then of course it'll go on hiatus for a bit and then get picked up later. There's just too many things I'm working on right now. And other podcasts I have to kind of rotate around to focus on. But, it was a great conversation, and I appreciate all the positive feedback and all the questions and everything that, thanks to our friends at Bantha School for posting the interview, and our friends at SWTVC for putting it on their Instagram this morning, and to anybody else who shared and linked to the interview. Thank you very much for doing that. And I've got more of these in the pipeline, not necessarily with Emily per se, but I am working on other things. And if you listen to this episode, then you heard that we first like kind of entered, I guess, into conversations, if you will, like a year and a half ago. So it took some time, and there are other conversations I am working on as well. But these things do take time to iron out and to make happen, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. You know, patience is a virtue indeed. So thank you guys for being patient with that. But yeah, great conversation, and I was really glad to do that. Stephen, how's it going? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, I just want to say that, some of the questions that we asked, thankfully, Hasbro did not say, hey, let us preview the questions. It wasn't anything like that. There was like a little bit of like, what do you want to talk about? But there wasn't anything specific I had to provide. So it was pretty unfiltered. So, grateful to them, grateful to Rogers and Cowan PR for making this, arranging the whole interview. And yeah, Emily was awesome at answering our questions. And, some of these aren't easy questions, right? I mean, as we said in the interview, there's passionate fans who collect the vintage collection. I think all of us are very passionate about our hobbies. It doesn't matter what your hobbies are. And, if this is your hobby, TVC, collecting, especially you've been doing it for decades, then, you're going to be especially passionate about it. And it's going to mean a lot more to you. So, but, it was good stuff. I was really, again, thank you to Emily. Thank you to Hasbro. And yeah, if you haven't checked out the episode, it is on YouTube. You can go and watch it after this, or you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon Music, any of those mediums, Spotify, all that stuff. Did I already say Spotify? But yeah, no, that was a blast. That was a blast. A couple more folks joining in. Return of the Jodi. How are you doing? Yeah, cool. So you must be one of my East Coasters then, I guess, right? Or somewhere else. So I'm glad that you're here there may be somewhere else beyond that. Yep, TVC is the way for sure. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate that. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so check it out if y'all haven't already. Before we get to last figure standing, I do want to look at the latest with the Ghostbusters HasLab. So last week when we looked at this, they hadn't unlocked the final tier. Now, I think this happened either yesterday or this morning. The final tier has been unlocked. If you look here at the backers, right in here, it is at 19,263 backers. Wow. That is really cool. That is really cool. The target was 10,000. It's almost doubled that, and it's unlocked every single stretch goal, right? So not only are you getting the PKE meter and the ghost trap, you're also getting the Supernatural Startup unlock, which has the cards and stickers and the patch. You also get the Secure Receptacle Ghost Trap unlock. That also has a unique HasLab patch. And then you get the Psychokinetic Energy Detection unlock, which has, it's a holster basically for your PKE meter. And you get the cute little mini Stay Puffed patch as well. This is really cool, you guys. This is really cool. And Ghostbusters turns 40 next year. So what a great way to celebrate it with this HasLab. Now, of course, I did back this, like day one. I was somebody that backed the Proton Pack, and believe it or not, and I know I've said this before, I haven't opened it yet. That's one of the things I intend to do when I'm on holiday break. But I do intend to open it. And I assume that we'll get the PKE meter and the Ghost Trap a year from now or so. And then I'll be able to get a jumpsuit, put my name on it, and then I can be a Ghostbuster. I'll have all the equipment I need, really. So yeah, congrats to Hasbro on another successful funded HasLab, a Ghostbusters HasLab. So awesome stuff. I hope that they do circle back to using HasLab for some impressive plasma series figures or something. Like, we need the real Ghostbusters in the plasma series. We need Ghostbusters 2 in the Plasma series. There's still characters we don't yet have. We don't have Janine in any iteration. And I want to see the retro collection come back. Like, honestly, like there is, I don't know what's available still from the Kenner days, but Kenner did, it's one of the greatest toy lines of all time. If you collected the real Ghostbusters back in the day, like I did, you know, I was little, but I loved it. Then there's so many things they can pick from to bring back, once again, and repack them. Like Playmates is doing amazing things with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in their retro line. Like you go to Target, they're on the pegs, and they're bringing out a bunch of them. And I really wish that Hasbro was doing the same thing with bringing back those Kenner figures, because they were incredible. And unfortunately, I lost most of my stuff that I had as a kid. But I would totally buy reissues. I think that there's a lot of money there. I think that's why Playmates is doing it. Other companies are doing it too. Hasbro's doing it with the retro collection, Star Wars. You know, people want their retro stuff, you know, especially if, you know, this is decades removed at this point, and that's what makes you happy and nostalgic. Like, honestly, out of everything that I have, you know, I've got Hot Toys, I've got TVC, I've got, you know, Bandai, I got some nice stuff. But when I look over to my shelves that have the old stuff, like there's nothing quite that hits you in the feels, even though that stuff is not nearly as impressive as what we're getting today. But it's for that reason that they really need to get out some of the retro series for Ghostbusters, because, you know, I'm all here for that. I'm sure that other people would be as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And yeah, maybe we'll get a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as another HasLab sometime, like for Plasma series, or even for, if they wanted to do a 3 3/4 inch. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like a TVC, but for Ghostbusters. That would be peak Ghostbusters toy right there. Imagine it with an Ecto-1 that was in scale. Getting ahead of myself here, but I'm getting excited just thinking about it. So again, 3 days left to back the PKE meter and the Ghost Trap. If you're interested, now's the time. It's never going to come back. So yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. All right. Adam, so you already have the ghosts. You'll be all set. Yes, if you're new to Cantina Social Hour, back in March, I was talking to another YouTuber, Ryan from Laser Pants, and he was on here, and I was doing my thing here just like I am right now, and over here I heard like I heard something. You see me react on camera, and I'm like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to Ryan or anything, but I was like. And later, my pal Brad at the Jurassic Park podcast, he recorded that bit where I react, and he enhanced the audio. And sure enough, there's something like right here next to my head going, so like saying something. And I don't know what it's saying, but it's like right here because I heard it. But there's nobody else in the room. There's never anybody in this room. Sometimes my dog's in here, but that night she wasn't in here either. So yeah, I need that PKE meter, the Ghost Trap, and I've already got the Neutrona wand and the proton packs. So yeah, I got the ghosts already. I got the ghosts. And I didn't even think about the HasLab as I was just saying that. You have to get the new winter jackets. They're showing in the new trailer. Yes, the new costumes for the new movie look cool. Where they're wearing the orangey red jackets. Those are awesome. Would you like to see them make the retro collection Star Wars playsets and ships? No, maybe the Cantina, but that's about it. Maybe Jabba the Hutt in his dais, but that's about it. I don't want to see the vehicles come back. I know some people do. I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because since the modern Star Wars toy line came back during Power of the Force 2, Hasbro has re-released those same molds over and over again. So they have re-released them, just not under the retro collection label. The Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, the A-Wing, the Jawa Sandcrawler. There's several that have come back. The Imperial Shuttle, that are all from the vintage days that have just been brought back with new paint, a few updates here and there. But for all intents and purposes, those are the molds. I don't want to see retro come back for vehicles. There's plenty out there. If they're going to do vehicles, I'd rather them do vehicles like the vintage collection vehicles. Retro collection's great, but it's focus on the figures. But yeah, I don't be okay with the Cantina, honestly, because that's my thing, right? Or Jabba's Deus would be cool. But that's kind of about it, I would say. But yeah, the Creature Cantina would be neat. The band, right? The Max Rebo band, if they brought those back, that'd be fun. There's some stuff they could do. I feel like retro collection, like I had been buying them all. Like they started with A New Hope, they went to Empire, they did Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like it's gotten really big, and I'm kind of at the point where I had been buying them all. I'm like, I haven't ordered the latest the Book of Boba Fett wave because they look fine. It's just they've done Mando so many times, and there's not like I don't think there's a Boba Fett in that wave other than the bald one, but there's not like with the updated armor for whatever reason. So yeah. Retro collection. Yeah. I'd like to see them come back with Hammerhead and Greedo and Walrus Man. Do all those in the retro collection. Like those would be fun to see again. Yeah, Jason, 48-inch Stay Up Marshmallow Man. Man, just thinking about where would I put something of that magnitude? Like it sounds amazing. Like I'd love to see it, but I don't know where I would put it. Like I'd love it, but I don't know where it would go. I'm already like really pressed for space just looking around. You guys see this behind me, but that's only like one wall. There are 3 other walls, right? It's a room. There's 4 walls. There's so many other things, that I have around me. Even here on the desk, it's kind of covered in figures right now. Yeah. Peak Obi-Wan, world building scale with Ghostbusters, sign me up. Absolutely, 100%. If that was a thing, please, please, please let it be a thing. Please, please. I don't know what's going on with Ghostbusters, though. I haven't seen any updates for that line. It's like Indiana Jones. It kind of just went. Yeah, that was in March, the ghost incident. Have it ride shotgun in the new Mustang. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good. Actually, yeah, it would match. It would match the color. Now that you mention it, I could dress my car up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't think I would do it, but I think I could do it. It would be interesting. Picari Sweat. Picari Sweat. It's pretty good. It is hydrating, I will say that. I remember walking up, like, when I was there in Japan, like walking up these. If you've heard of Inari Shrine in Kyoto, it's a really steep, like, thing, and it was so hot and muggy, and I was sweating buckets, but, like, that helps. That Picari Sweat helps. They could do 2-packs like they did with Bounty Hunters with the Cantina aliens. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I like that, Steven. That's a great idea. All right, let's talk about last figure standing. All right, so last figure standing. All right, so you guys, I'm sure many of you watched the last figure standing live stream that Busk's Bounty hosted last week on Saturday. These are the top 6. So we voted in round 1 for the top 5 after selecting our top 10. And these are the top 6. So we have the Tonica Sisters, Cobb Vanth, the Saj Ventress, Hammerhead, Balin Skull, and Shin Hati. Great selection of figures. Like this would be the greatest wave ever if it made it into the main line. But no, it really would. But these are great. So I have a little bit of a confession to make, and I feel like I need to explain myself. I'm sure none of you even care. I'm sure some of you probably didn't even notice this, but I have some explaining to do, and I'm going to tell you why. I started with this as my top 10, as I've discussed a couple weeks back. This was my top 10. Tonica's, Balin, Shin, Asajj, Anakin, Kira, Luke, Han, Ben, and Obi-Wan. And of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are in the top 6. So I think I did pretty good. I feel like I had a pretty good pulse on what the masses are interested in. So that makes me, pat on the back. But anyway, so those are my top 10, right? Of those, As you just saw, these were the top 6. All right. 4 of the ones I picked in my top 10 are on the top 6. Right. And that's pretty cool. So now we have to vote again to see what is going to happen in the top 4. All right. So the reason I need to explain myself, I'm going to jump back over to my page. The reason, if it lets me, the reason I need to explain myself is if you look at who I picked for my top 3, and we are voting for 3, even though it's going to be the top 4, I kind of deviated. Even though Balin and Asajj and Shin were on my list, I deviated. I jumped over. I kept the Tonikas, of course, but I jumped over to Cobb Vanth and to Hammerhead. So I need to explain myself. I'm sure none of you noticed or care, but the reason I need to explain myself is why I did this. All right. So, as with everything, I'm very methodical. I'm thinking long term. I think Shin and Balin are going to get made. I think that's kind of probably going, for all intents and purposes, pretty much a done deal. Asajj has had a lot of demand for a while. I think she's going to get made. These are the 3 from that top 6 that I'm not 100% confident about. So I felt that it was my solemn duty as a YouTuber, as a Star Wars TVC collector and fan and host of the Vintage Collection podcast to jump on these 3, because I think these 3 stand the least chance of getting made. And I don't say that lightly, because obviously I really would want all 6 of the top 6 to happen. But I'm backing these 3 because I feel that these are the 3 that warranted the most support for the reasons that I just explained. I think Shin's going to get made. I think Balin's going to get made. I think Asajj is going to be made sooner rather than later, if I had to guess, especially now that we're getting that awesome Count Dooku. But I had to go away. These weren't on my top 10 other than the Tonikas. Hammerhead wasn't on my top 10. Cobb Vanth, love Cobb Vanth. He wasn't on my top 10. But now I feel like these are the 3 that I need to back. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If you are tuning in to the Last Figure Standing live stream tomorrow on the Boss Bounty YouTube channel, guess who's going to be a guest on that episode? Take a guess. I'll give you a second. Take a guess and type it in the chat. Who's going to be a guest tomorrow? So today is the last day to vote for these, and you want to make sure that you get your votes in. Vote for whomever you want. These are my 3 picks. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm really eager. I'm really invested in Last Figure Standing because I want to see what happens. But yes, you guys are right. It is me. It is me, Tim. How's it going, Tim? Mechanized, how are you? It is me. Vetmatic, how's it going? It is me. It is me, yes. I will be on tomorrow's Last Figure Standing live stream on the Boss Bounty YouTube channel. I'm not sure who else is going to be there. I think Chris from Bantha School. I think obviously Tim from Boss Bounty. I think John from the Vintage Collection, the Facebook group. But yeah, I will be along with him. I'm not sure if Jason from Yakface will be on this time or not, but maybe. But anyway, I'm stoked to be on there, and it's going to be fun. So tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time on the Box Bounty YouTube channel, and let's see what happens. I'm excited to be there. I have my fingers crossed, hoping that certain things happen, like literally, see. But we'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. All right? We'll find out tomorrow. See what happens there. All right, so that's kind of all I got. As far as acquisitions, did I get any new acquisitions this week? Victoria, did you get anything? Probably. Yeah, you did. So I did get a few things. Okay, this is wild. This is wild, but I love Hot Toys. I love Sideshow because they let you make payment plans on Hot Toys. But every now and then, that final payment lines up with other figures you make final payments on. So I got 3 Hot Toys this week. Okay, so from Star Wars, I got the Grand Inquisitor. He came in this week. Super excited to get him open. I love those Inquisitors. They're kind of silly, but I still love them. So yeah, I have the Grand Inquisitor. I also got the Bat Pod from the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. I got the Bat Pod. And I'm not even gonna, I can't even display it right now, but I didn't want to miss out on that because I got a really good deal on it. Sideshow is running some amazing Black Friday deals, and I didn't want to miss out on some of those. Also, this one isn't Hot Toys, but through Sideshow, I did order and I've been making payments on these guys forever, but I also got a really good deal on them because they were on massive discount. I got all 6 of the 3-0 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so 6 scales. So those are exciting too. And again, I don't have anywhere to put them. I don't know where they're going to go. Probably have to put them on the ceiling, hanging upside down at this point. Yeah. So that's what I got this week. I'm trying to think if anything else came in, and I don't think anything else did come in this week. I know Entertainment Earth is processing the retro collection, like the latest wave, but I haven't bit the bullet on those yet. Don't know if I will. Maybe not. But I think that's all I got this week. I didn't get any dinosaurs. I didn't get any Jurassic. Speaking of Jurassic, did you guys see the Jurassic Park Survival video game trailer? That looks rad. It looks really cool. So this game, if you're not aware, takes place right after Jurassic Park. It's like a canonical sequel to Jurassic Park, which is exciting in and of itself. But it's gonna have like it's a protagonist. It's a first person like game, I believe. And it looks really good. If you haven't seen the trailer for Jurassic Park Survival, take a look at it because it looks cool. Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other concerns? I think we're getting to the end just about here, unless there's anything else you guys want to know. As far as what I'm working on, I will expand on that. So I am working on the next video will be my Japan video, which I've been working on it for months. I took hours of footage and to kind of go back and scrub through it and find, the bits I need, it's just been very overwhelming. But I am working on that. That will be coming. That's my next video, is a Japan video. And then I do have my collection video. Finally, in 10 years, going on 11 years, the very first Victoria's Cantina collection video is coming, and that'll be coming. I really want to get that out by the end of the month. Like, if I could get it out like Christmas Day, that'd be pretty cool, like a Christmas gift. But I don't want to make any promises because I am busy. I do have other things going on. Hello McFly says that Ross stores have some Blowout Star VC deals. That's true. They do. They do have some vintage collection deals. It's all about the vintage collection. There's some really good deals. And I think they also have, I want to say I saw like somebody say they had like some Black Series or something else. Oh, no, you know what it was? Yeah, that's what it was, the Black Series. Somebody also showed, I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been, if he's still here, it might have, I think it, maybe was it Chaz the Guru? I don't know if you're still here, but I think he posted that, that big San Diego Comic Con, or was it, or PulseCon? I don't remember what it was. Vintage collection pack that had Moff Gideon, Grogu, and Mando and the Dark Trooper. Like, that's like $20 or something like that. I don't know if he's still here, but yeah, it was Chaz. Thank you, Chaz. Appreciate that. The rescue set. See, I could have saved myself a lot of breath by just saying the rescue set. Jason, I know a pile came in of loot came in today. I forget what's in except 3 SH Monster Arts. Nice. That's awesome. It's like a great acquisition. And $20. Right on. Right on. Well, so next week I will be back at regular time, 7 p.m. Pacific. So come hang out with me. The week after that, I will be on Thursday instead. That's the plan, is Thursday, because of the holidays. I'm busy. Tentatively, that's the plan. If anything changes, I will let you guys know by next Friday. But yeah, we're wrapping up towards the end of the year, and I will be taking a break from Cantina Social Hour. I love doing this. But it's the holidays, and I have company and things going on. So I will be taking a little bit of a hiatus so I can work on getting my collection organized and entertaining guests that will be here for the holidays, and resting, really recuperating, get a nice little break from work. So that'll be nice. You guys, thank you. Like, honestly, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for hanging out every Friday. Those of you who are regulars, Cantinians, as we call them now. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, if you haven't checked out that episode of the TVC podcast, please do. It is up. It's a fun episode. And I'll be working on those other videos. And the next episode of the TVC podcast that is being worked on too. If it's not out by the end of this month, it'll be out early January. But yeah, thanks again, guys. What did you think of the earlier time? I'm just curious. Did you like the earlier time? I'm not saying I can make it a regular thing, but I'm just curious if you guys liked it. I know turnout wasn't the same because this isn't our usual time. So it was a little bit, it wasn't what it usually is. But I'm just curious. What do you guys think? Do you like the earlier time? Does that work better? Is it worse? You guys let me know. But yeah, no, again, thank you. Appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been fun. And thank you for your comments. I appreciate the last little bits there. Have a great weekend, you guys. And yeah, no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, as always, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Victoria's Cantina YouTube channel, tuning into Cantina Social Hour. I will see you next week, next Friday. Be well, be safe. May the force be with you. Take care. Be safe out there. It's crazy with the holidays right now, and shoppers and drivers and porch package thief things I hear. And just, it's just a crazy time of year. It's a busy time of year. It's an expensive time of year, but it's a great time of year. So thank you guys. And I will see you next week.